Okay. Hello, I am John Jimenez, and this is my friend.
Hey guys, what's up? My name's Juan Vasquez.
And we are going to start, let me see this. We are going to start a new podcast.
We're going to try to. I mean, we've been wanting to do this for a while now, but it's taken us so long to begin with because we've been trying to get more people along with it, but so far it's just us two. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to love our performance. But we'll try to keep it interesting for you guys.
Alright, well, we'll start off with us two. We'll try to get more people in here, try and diverse it a bit. We'll get some sports maybe. But this podcast will mainly, I mean, if you love gaming, you're going to want to be on this podcast. If you love anime, of course, because we love anime. Juan, we love anime,
We
right?
love anime. Oh
We love
my
anime.
gosh.
Of course, we're going to recommend some animes, recommend some mangas. And
What I mostly do is I read mangas, mostly because I don't have time to watch animes. But my friend John here, he watches animes before he reads manga sometimes, so he'll be able to fill you in on the anime, and I'll fill you in on the manga, or vice versa.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm more of an anime person, but recently I haven't been able to find any.
Yeah, the thing is, I work a night shift, and whenever I'm not working the day shift, well, I work 2 night shifts and 1 day shift. Whenever I'm at working the night shift, I work by myself at night, so I pretty much find myself from around 2 in the morning till 5 in the morning just reading manga every single day at work. You guys might say that's a little irrational, but I don't know. I just love me some manga.
And then me, I just go to college. Do some homework. But I'm just real lazy. I'm mostly playing the guitar, trying to write new songs.
Yeah, John here, he's a real music enthusiast. He writes his own music, plays guitar. So if you guys are into that kind of stuff, I'm sure he'll find something to like teach you. Maybe we could start doing guitar lessons or something that he can post up on the channel also.
It's gonna get crazy here. I don't think I'm that good one.
John, don't be so modest.
I honestly don't think I'm that good one. But yeah,
I mostly focus on, right now I work and go to school, but I've been wanting to find the time to do this with John for a while now because we're both pretty psyched about this. It's something we've been wanting to do since the 8th grade. One thing, I'm turning 19 in June. John turned 19 in January, this past January.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, we're gonna find the time, guys. So don't you worry about that. We'll find ways to keep this interesting.
We'll find time.
We'll keep these interesting for you guys, and mostly what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about video games. We're
Yes,
gonna talk about manga and anime. We're gonna find time to talk about sports because I know, just a bunch of nerds talking won't be the most entertaining thing to watch, but we'll find a way.
The thing about sports is we are going to try and focus on sports when it's a big sports event,
Like the World Cup that's coming up in June.
Cup.
We will definitely be covering that because me and John are both soccer enthusiasts.
Yes, sir.
We love soccer, and it's what we do. It's what we love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We don't find much time to play it because we're kind of fat. We're really fat. But
yeah.
whenever we do play it, I mean, we have fun. We keep up with them younger kids.
We're pretty fat, Juan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're so fat. Okay, well, for video games, I'm gonna try to focus on a couple, but I will be doing. We have some ideas where we would just play random indie games or online games.
Yeah. All right. Once a week, we're going to do a segment called Random Game of the Week, where we will both play a random game. Just look randomly out there, find a game, play it, tell you what we think about it, tell you if you should check it out, tell you to stay away from it, or something like that. And
Well,
go for it.
Yeah, like you was saying, we're gonna give you guys suggestions and stuff, but I mean, we understand that people have different opinions on things. So if we say an anime is we're gonna rate animes before we tell you guys to go watch them or read the mangas or stuff like that. So just in case if you guys are wondering, if we say that a manga is, let's say, hypothetical example, Attack on Titan, we say it's a 9 out of 10. We would say that because we're into action. It's got a really good storyline. They develop the characters really well.
Yes.
So you end up falling with the characters only to get them swatted away from you, which it hurts, but it gets you hooked on. It gets you hooked on it, and it is gory. There is a lot of fighting, a lot of blood. So if you guys aren't into that, you might rate it less than a 9 out of 10. But for me and John, since we love that kind of stuff, we're gonna rate it a 9 out of 10.
See, we will get someone on here though. Maybe we might get one of our other friends on here who's more into, I guess, softer animes. How would you say it? You know what I'm talking about, Luis.
Oh yeah, we have a friend named Luis. He's into animes such as Elfen Lied. I know that isn't exactly a soft anime.
Oh, that's like the opposite of soft.
Yeah, that's pretty gory.
It's like hearts.
But he's into other things like Madoka Magica. He's been trying to get us to read that for I don't know how long.
We have just like ignored it. We have ignored it so much. I feel so bad.
I kind of want to try it because he bought these keychains off of Amazon, and he has them just hanging on his keys. And I mean, I don't know. It seems pretty cool. The keychains have a nice design to them. I
noticed that like the type of drawing for it, it's really how do I say this without being mean? Like it's different. It's very different type. It's like more of the soft, romantic, I guess.
Like a romantic sort of drawing.
Like Chibbits.
Naruto,
do you know what Chibbits is?
Yes, I know what Chibbits are.
Yeah, it's more like that. Like more big eye characters.
I'll post a picture up on the video so you guys can see what a Chibbit is. Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, it's really weird. He alternates tastes so randomly. Like one day he'll be watching Elfen Lied, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's he watches the anime. There's only like 7 episodes or something like that. But it's a test subject. I don't want to give too many spoilers just in case you guys are curious and want to go read it.
Yeah, we were going to try and stay away from spoilers, isn't it?
Yeah, spoilers is going to be one of the big things we're going to try to get away from.
It's going to be hard.
But it's basically just she's a test subject, and she has these moments where she goes berserk and she just murders everything. It is very gory. It does have I don't know if you guys are familiar with manga, but what I would categorize it is sort of ecchi. I don't know if you guys know what that are. It's basically manga. I'm going to explain manga. Manga, it could be a PG-13 manga. It could be a mature manga, and it can be an adult manga. A PG-13 manga would be something like Naruto, where it has battle scenes, but they're not particularly gory. A mature manga, it could be anywhere from ecchi, which would be sexual innuendos with a good storyline. Mm-hmm. It could go from having like Attack on Titan. I wouldn't recommend that for kids just because the fighting scenes. If you watch the anime, the fighting scenes are pretty gory. It's really good. You should go watch it. And then the adult mangas would be more of like your hentai stuff like that. The whole sex, nothing but sex. And Elfen Lied, I would categorize it in the mature. Only because it does have some sexual representation. As nudity, and it's very gory. Some scenes are very, very gory. But like I said, some days he'll go from watching Elfen Lied to the next day he'll watch Madoka Magica, and it's really weird. You can't really get a taste from him because he's just so random with his manga. Me and John, on the other hand, we have I don't want to say like a set taste of manga. But we do have certain tendencies to lean towards action adventure. Like one I recommended to John not too long ago was called Ares. It's based on mercenaries in the past. That's also an action adventure. One I read right now was Siren. That's also a sci-fi adventure. I mean, we all have our preferences. Mine would be sci-fi. I'm not gonna lie. I do like romance mangas. I'm gonna put that out there, John. Don't judge. I do like some mangas. I do like some mangas that have a romantic side to them, like a love story. I don't know. I'm just a sucker for that kind of stuff. I love it.
I don't judge.
Nah, you're judging.
I don't judge.
What about you, John? What do you like?
Oh my god. I mean, of course, there's got to be action in there.
Yeah.
I'm a real bad sucker for if the main character is half of the time the underdog. The main character
I know
is like
exactly what
some
you mean.
weak kid that everybody thinks is never gonna be anything. That's always what I gotta go for.
Yeah, like the one I recommended for you, Siren. I don't want to give any spoilers, but he does start out being a complete waste of like life.
Oh, is that
So
what it's
weak.
called?
Siren, yeah, but it's
I
spelled.
thought it was like P.S. Psychic or
No,
something.
it's Siren. It's really good. You should read it. But yeah, the guy he starts off not being able to protect his friends and stuff like that, and eventually he turns into a badass motherfucker. And I mean, excuse the language.
I read
don't know where we're going with that.
I read part of the first chapter, and there's like some Digimon looking thing that popped up, and then I like stopped because it was 63, and I was already going.
Yeah. The thing is, the first chapter on that one, it's a long chapter. It's like an entire volume, I would want to say. I'm not too familiar with the terms for manga, so don't expect me to drop the specific terms sort of like that. But I'm familiar with the process, like the whole serialization and the mangaka and stuff like that, because I read a manga called Bakuman. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It basically these two guys, they're trying their hardest to be a mangaka, which is a person that serializes manga. He writes the manga and gets it published. So I know the whole process, but yeah, that guy that you saw, John, it's probably Nemesis Q. He turns out to play a really, really big role in it, but not in the way you would think. Plot twist, John. That's all I gotta say.
Plot twist. You want to talk about plot twist? Let's talk about Air Gear here.
Oh man, Air Gear. John's been he's been fangirling over this anime and this manga for a really long time.
Okay, so like I watched the anime first a long time ago. I watched the anime, and I loved it. I loved the anime all the way through, and the ending was just the worst piece of crap ever. And it didn't fulfill anything. And I was so pissed. I went on the internet and I was like looking if there was like different endings or something, and everybody was pissed off with me. And there was like an army of pissed people just yelling because it had the worst anime. I mean, it had the worst ending ever. It was just horrible. But throughout the whole anime, it was so good. Just so good. It's just the ending. And I don't know why they did that. So later on, Juan gets me into reading manga. And I thought, yeah, I'll download that one and I'll go check it out. I see that it's way longer than like the actual anime, so oh my god, I'm so much into it right now. It's so good.
Isn't Air Gear like 300 and something chapters?
Yeah, and I'm barely like on 160 or something.
160. Oh, another thing, I love whenever I get hooked onto a manga, I blaze right through it. There's no pauses for me. Like Bleach, I had watched the the anime a really long time ago, but that was back when I was a little kid. I wasn't really that into manga, but then I got into the manga and I finished like I caught up to it was like 557 I think when I caught up. I read it in like 3 days. I mean, it was something ridiculous like that.
No, I don't know how you do that. You even started reading it after me, because I remember I told you I started watching Bleach and I finished all the anime and I started reading the manga, and then you were like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. You watched all the anime, and then you started reading the manga, and you still like passed me. I don't know how.
I don't know. It's this weird thing. Whenever I get into something, I have to finish it. There's no another thing. Like whenever we watch shows on Netflix or something like that. Like I'm gonna give another example. American Horror Story. I finished the first 2 seasons in like 2 days. I mean, it's something ridiculous like that. I can't. It's just the way I am.
See, look, I gave this example earlier to Juan. It's I like to enjoy my food. I like to enjoy my food.
John, that's a bad example. We literally just finished telling them we're fat.
No, see, I like to enjoy my food, so I take it slow and I eat it slowly, and then I'll stop. I'll think about how delicious it is, or if it sucks, and then I'll get back at it. And if it sucks, I won't. Same thing with animes and mangas. I'll read them, I'll stop and ponder and think, what if this is gonna happen? What's that gonna happen? And then I'll get back at it and start reading. I read like slowly though. I like to enjoy it.
But yeah, it's a really funny story. The way I got into it, my friend, his name is Joy Noyola. Maybe we can get him on here sometime. I don't know. He might be interested, maybe not. He had a whole bunch of volumes that he bought from, I don't know where he got them, but the thing is he was moving houses and his parents didn't let him take them because it was somewhere like 100 or something volumes, and if you guys know anything about it, each volume is like $10 to $15 depending on which manga it is. And he ended up selling me like the entire set of Naruto from the very beginning to the end of the tuning exams for like $20. So here I am coming home with like a giant bag of freaking manga in my freaking hand, and my mom just looks at me. She's like, "What did you just do?" I was like, "Nothing," and I just like locked myself in my room and like read them for like a week. This happened when I was in the 8th grade, which is when we were what? 8th grade was 2008.
13.
2008 was 6 years ago. So yeah, we were like 12, 13 years old. That's when I started getting into it. But back then, I didn't have access to... Well, I had a computer, but I didn't have access to decent internet. Because if you guys remember anything, back then the internet was pretty shoddy. So I would never like be able to go online and just read manga for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, we're in a manga. That's not our... I'm sorry, we've been rambling for like 15 minutes about nothing but manga. We're gonna be doing links. We're gonna be reviewing like news links for video game updates for companies like Xbox, PlayStation. Not just that, but also like new tech that's coming out. Because I don't know about John, but for me personally, I like to keep up on stuff like that. Not that I'll like go out and buy anything like that, but I mean, I'm a pretty tech savvy guy. Whenever it comes to making like servers for anybody to play on, stuff like that, I'm usually the guy everybody turns to. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've always just been that kind of guy.
I always just text Juan, tell him, "Hey, make this," because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, like recently, John. The thing is, I was trying to like lay off reading Attack on Titan because I knew it was going to be really good, but I knew it wasn't finished yet. And the thing with me is I don't like reading a manga if I know it's going to be good and it's not finished yet because I hate waiting. So I ended up getting into it, and then John one day randomly texted me to make a Attack on Titan server. I don't know if you guys are into that. If you will, or we can probably make a server for we can all play on. I mean, it'd be pretty easy.
That'd be epic.
Yeah, we can have like... I think my computer right now, maximum people it can hold on one server would probably be like 10. My connection's decent. I got a pretty decent connection, so I'm pretty sure I can hold from...
We would be able to beat Annie.
Oh, man, John, stop talking about Annie.
We'd be able to beat Annie.
Oh, we went like a whole night just trying to beat her, and we just couldn't. It was me, John, and his cousin, and we just couldn't bring her down. Well, we brought her down, but we just couldn't kill her.
But yeah, well, we're gonna talk a bit about gaming. Juan, what's your main platform for game?
I went. Well, in the 8th grade, I used to stick to PlayStation 2 because that was my dad was really into that. He was the one that really got me into gaming because he would always come home from work and he'd play his FIFA game or his Pro Evolution Soccer. I know it's not as common for somebody to play PES, but he was really into that. And I would play my PS2, and then one day my friend John here, we were sitting in the lunchroom, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, you should get an Xbox." And I got a really funny story to tell you guys about this. It's not funny because, John, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. When I was trying to get my internet,
I have no... Oh my god,
back in
it's
the
most unluckiest thing ever.
It's unlucky for me and unlucky for the guy that was going to come put the internet, but I'll let you guys know about that in a sec. So we're just sitting there, and we have another friend named Luis. We don't really call him Luis, though.
We call him
Raffle Pig. Because ever since he got his first Xbox, that's been his gamer tag, RafflePig44. They were pretty much, like, egging me on to get an Xbox. And at first I didn't really want to, but then I was just like, yeah, like, I mean, why not? And then at the time, my mom was selling her truck. So she's like, yeah, sure, I'll get you one. We ended up getting one, right? But at the time, I didn't have internet because we had just moved down. I'm originally from Mexico, but I moved Chicago when my dad gave me my papers or whatever back when I was a little kid, and then I moved here to Texas when I was in the 5th grade. I didn't really have internet or anything like that. So then I finally get my Xbox, right? I'm here. Imagine me, little fat 8th grader, just super excited that he got an Xbox, right? My mom's like, yeah, we got you the Xbox. Now we're going to have to call, because down here, all we really have for decent internet is a company called Time Warner Cable.
It's the worst.
They're like, yeah, it's the best we have here, but honestly, it's probably like the worst thing in the country. Anyway, she's like, yeah, let me go ahead and call them, and she does that, and then the next day they're like, yeah, we're going to send in a tech over there to go ahead and give you your service. And they're like, okay, so they send the tech, but then the tech is like, no, we can't do it today, we're going to have to wait a couple more days because we have to fix the tap or something like that. I don't really remember what he told me the first time. The thing is, I had to wait like almost a week for them to go back. Then they go back and they're like, no, we forgot the equipment, we're going to have to wait another couple days. So this is like a week and a half into the whole process, right? So I'm here, like, my spirit's crushed. I'm thinking I'm never going to get internet. The gods are conspiring against me.
Us being like little middle schoolers, we're making fun of you like every day.
The whole time during lunch, these guys would be like, dude, get your internet. They would be like, oh, it was the worst. Finally, it was like a Wednesday, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, we get the call from Time Warner Cable. They're like, yeah, we're really sorry about this whole thing. We're going to go ahead and send somebody over today. They should be over there in an hour. I'm like, okay, why not? Like, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but hopefully it happens. Sure enough, an hour and a half, almost 2 hours later, I get a knock at the door. And it's the guy from Time Warner Cable. And then suddenly, like, he's just like, he starts holding his chest, and he gets in his truck, and he just drives away. And I'm just sitting there like, what the heck's going on? Half an hour later, I get a call from Time Warner Cable from their dispatch service telling me that the guy that was going to go install my internet suffered a minor cardiac arrest. I'm just sitting there like, does that mean the guy that was going to come install my internet had a heart attack at my door? And they're like, yep, I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to wait another, like, week. And I'm just, at this point, I'm just defeated. I just give up entirely.
Because it's like, it just wasn't meant to be. I'm at
serious.
That point, we weren't even, like, we didn't even know what to say anymore.
Oh, man. The thing you guys have to know about Luis, he's a shy guy in public. But once you get, like, to be close with him, he's, like, one of the freaking craziest guys you're ever going to meet.
Oh, he will drop bombs on you.
Yeah, he will drop bombs. So, of course, he was just mocking me 24/7 about the guy that was going to go install my internet having a heart attack. I couldn't live it down. And then I finally get my internet, and I'm starting. The first game I ever had for the Xbox 360 was Iron Man. I don't remember which one. But I get to the loading screen, and they're like, yeah, you need a hard drive to save your game. Apparently I had bought the arcade version that didn't come with a hard drive. So this whole time I had an Xbox without a hard drive, and I didn't even know it. And my internet was finally out, but it wasn't even good internet. It was terrible. Oh my gosh. It was just awful. It was a terrible experience.
So good times, good times.
But yeah, currently right now I prefer PC gaming, the PC gaming platform. I have a self-built rig. I ordered the parts myself, and I went ahead and put myself together. I don't want to say a great computer, but it gets the job done. I get 60 FPS on max settings for pretty much every game that's out on the market right now, except Crysis 4. I mean, that game is pretty graphic intensive. I think maybe on max settings 1080p I get maybe like 40 FPS, 30 FPS. But everything else, I mean, flying colors.
Crysis 4 is already out?
Or Crysis 3, sorry.
Oh.
Crysis 3. But yeah. John, what about you?
I am an Xbox player. Especially 360. Do not have the money for an Xbox One, so I am sticking with the 360 right now. But I do play some computer games sometimes. I play Left 4 Dead on the computer a lot.
Now that you bring up the whole Xbox One thing, let me go ahead and ask you, what are your thoughts on the PS4 against Xbox One debate going on right now?
Well, I mean, Xbox. I mean, of course, I'm more of an Xbox person. I think if you want to have a good online experience, you're gonna want to go for the Xbox. If you want to have good story-wise games, you're gonna want to go for the PS4. because PS4 is getting more
exclusive.
yeah, more exclusives and stuff. But I mean, the Xbox One has, what was it, like over 33,000? And I'm just throwing numbers out there, but it has a lot of servers, way more than Sony has.
Yeah, the thing I was also keeping up with that, not because I was going to get one, but I was just curious. That I also heard that the Microsoft has way more dedicated servers for their online gaming experience than Sony does.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, after that whole hack thing that happened to Sony, I think it was in 2011, maybe 2012, that those two guys or whatever, how many were, they hacked their servers and stole credit card information. People have been pretty weary about going into the PlayStation platform, not because they feel insecure, but they feel that Sony isn't really doing what they should be to protect their information, you know? And I mean, I'm right there with them. If I play Xbox, or if I play PS3, sorry, I would want to feel like they're at least trying to take care of my information, you know?
Well,
it's not.
I mean, PlayStation. They're starting for PSN, I think, or PlayStation Plus. They're starting to charge if you want to be able to download games. You have to charge like Xbox Live. That's their answer to Xbox Live, because I guess they need more money for the servers and dedicated servers and stuff like that. But yeah, PS4 did win the race.
They sold more consoles, right?
Yeah, they sold more consoles. They're doing better than Xbox One right now.
The thing is, I'm sorry, but I feel like Xbox or Microsoft, they dug their own grave. They backtracked on so many statements, like the whole used game platform that they were going to try to remove by adding online codes that you had to purchase that you had to be able to play online with.
Mm-hmm.
They had this whole thing where they weren't going to let people use online or used games. They weren't going to be able to sell used games to anybody because you were going to need the code. So you would still have to buy the used game and then go buy an online code, which would generally be around $30 per game. So they said they weren't going to allow you to use used games, but then a month and a half later, they're like, "No, you guys misunderstood. We never said anything like that. Blah blah blah. We made a mistake, or you guys made a mistake."
Well, actually, they went back on that, and they said they were going to do that, and no, that has to do with the DRM, I mean, or how you weren't going to be able to share games.
Yeah,
and that type of thing.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, they said, since we're not going to do that, we're going to punish you, and you're not going to get as much content. You're not going to get the experience that you were going to get. And so they took out a lot of stuff.
People shouldn't have to choose. I mean, they're paying. I think the Xbox, the minimum price that you had to pay was like $500, right, for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
I mean, if people are going to be paying $500 for a new console,
they should get what they want.
They should be able to get what they want. And also, the Xbox One and the PS4 aren't still capable of playing true 1080p games.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to sell a console for $500, make people buy completely different games just to be able to upgrade. Because, I mean, just because you have a higher performance machine like the Xbox One compared to the Xbox 360, if you play... I don't even know if this is possible. I didn't look into it. Can you play Xbox 360 games on an Xbox One?
No, they didn't have that. No.
They're not cross-compatible. Okay. $500 on a new console. Plus every game is still going to be $60 to $65, correct?
Yeah.
So you're going to spend $500 on the console, $60 per game you want to play, and they're still telling you that you're not going to be able to get what you want just because you want to be able to share games? I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. At least in my opinion, I mean, the new systems, they're honestly, they're not doing too good right now. I mean, people are saying that gaming might actually die because of that, because they're not doing as well as they did when the PS3 came out. It did alright in sales, but it still did better than PS4. When the Xbox 360 came out, it just completely killed, and it reinvented gaming.
Yeah, it reinvented gaming. People got into gaming again.
That was back in 2005, 2006 that it came out?
Yeah, because the only thing that was good at the time was just Nintendo. Everybody had a Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. The Xbox wasn't all that until the 360.
I mean, the first Xbox did have its problems. I mean, really, the only game that you were actually able to play decently on that game, or funly at least in my experience, I don't know about you guys, was Halo. Halo was a really, really big. It skyrocketed the whole.
Okay, let me go back on that. The 360, it reinvented online gaming. That's what I meant to say, because PS2 is actually what brought back gaming. Because PS2 is still the top selling gaming thing ever.
That's right. I mean, I still have mine somewhere.
But yeah, I
remember, John, the good old days when you would come to my house every day to play. What game was it? The World Cup 2010.
Yeah, I know. I train against you every day just so I can beat you.
Yeah, and you were finally able to do it too after like a year. It was good. It took you a while, but you were able to do it. But now that we've been talking about Microsoft and Sony, I love Pokemon. That's another thing you guys are gonna learn about me. I love Pokemon, and I mean, I love it. I've always loved it. I have a game from every single generation. I have an SP, a DS, the very first DS that came out. I used to have a Game Boy Color. I lost it when we moved houses. I lost everything. But Pokebank came out for Pokemon, I think February 5th, and that was really anticipated. I mean, it was supposed to come out since December. And John, you're acquainted with what Pokebank is, right?
You store Pokemon in a bank, and you share them onto a new game.
A cloud storage, yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, you can trade from Generation 5 up to Generation 6.
I heard that shut down.
But yeah, first it was supposed to come out. Yeah, exactly. It was supposed to come out in December. Apparently, Nintendo had server issues on the Nintendo store, so they had to take it off because I guess too many people were downloading it or something that it crashed their servers. So they delayed the release for the North American and the European versions of the app. It was only available in Japan for I think 2 or 3 days before it got taken down. And then all of January, it wasn't available. They were saying that it was going to be released first the 20th and the 25th. And then it got completely delayed. That some people were saying that it wasn't going to come out till March. But then Nintendo surprised everybody by releasing it the 5th of February. And now I think they're having a promotion. I don't know if it's to make up for what they did, but if you buy a 3DS, a 2DS, and a 3DS XL, and you buy either Animal Crossing, Donkey Kong Country, Lego City Undercover, Mario Kart 7, Super Mario Land 3D, or Yoshi's New Island, and you register that game online, they will give you a download code for Pokemon X and Y, so that you'd basically be getting a game for free. And personally, I love Pokemon Y. I'm getting into competitive battling. I'm not very good at it yet. I only have one team, mostly because I'm too lazy to EV train. But I mean, I love it. I mean, it's just great. John, do you have any closing statements? I mean, we've been going on for like 35 minutes almost.
Yeah, I just I just had a kind of a technical problem, and
yeah, you disconnected, right?
Yeah, and
that's no problem though.
Yeah, just tune in. We're gonna be doing a lot more. We'll start doing the game of the week. We'll start doing our random stories next week.
We have plenty of those, guys. Plenty of those.
We will try and get someone else on here if we can.
Oh, we decided that it was going to be weekly, right, John? Weekly podcast?
Yeah, weekly.
Or is it going to be weekly? Once a week? Maybe twice a week if we have time? If you think if we can do that, John? I mean,
if I go over there, we can do one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Are you gonna come down tomorrow? Or tomorrow Saturday?
Tomorrow Saturday?
No. Are you gonna come down tomorrow or Saturday?
Maybe.
Well, if you do, we can. Andrew said he was gonna come down too, so maybe we can get him on here. I mean, at first, me and John, we were kind of nervous about starting this because we were thinking like, what are we gonna talk about for 30 minutes, But wow, time flew by.
Tell me about it. I did not think we could talk for that much. I mean, I didn't think we had.
I feel like we kept it pretty fun, pretty entertaining.
We kept it pretty fun.
At least I feel like we did.
It was fun. It was entertaining. I'd listen to us. Pretty sure whoever's
Alright.
listening, they listen to us.
Well,
So,
I'm Juan. You can go ahead and call me Calixto or Juan. I don't care. I go by Calixto online. So if you ever see Calixto, that's probably me. John.
I am John. I'm John Jimenez. Usually, all of my online gamer tags or anything, usually Beach Toaster. I will tell you that story next
Yeah,
week.
he usually goes by Beach Toaster.
Because that was a whole ordeal. That
Oh
that
yeah,
name.
there's like this whole. Maybe we can tell him the story about Red Player, John.
Oh. That's okay.
All right, guys. Well, it's been really fun. Hopefully, this takes off and we can continue talking to you guys more often, or just in general.
Mm-hmm. We will also.
Yeah, so if you guys like what you saw,
we'll also start doing YouTube stuff. We will start posting videos on YouTube. Me and Juan will start doing gameplays, walkthroughs.
gaming.
So
videos,
we'll send
gameplays.
links to those, and you can check them out.
Yeah, I mean, so if you guys liked it, just go ahead and stick around. I'm not going to tell you to like and subscribe or anything like that. I mean, that's pretty cheesy, but you guys know what to do. If you liked it, go ahead and just come back. That's
Like and
pretty much what we
subscribe.
need.
And,
John, stop, John. John, stop.
all right.
Well, anyways, all right, guys.
We
It
will
was nice.
see
It was
you
fun.
later.
We'll see you guys next week. Later.